Killer hillbillies, inbred rednecks, and a group of unassuming teenage campers is the perfect mix for a classic backwoods slasher. And Just Before Dawn may be the best backwoods slasher ever released. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. Just Before Dawn was heavily influenced by 1972's Deliverance. Like, no duh, right? The 1981 slasher was going to have a heavy focus on religious overtones, but after many rewrites, director Jeff Lieberman decided to ditch those religious motifs and to focus more on the thriller aspects. Just Before Dawn starts in the beautiful mountains of Oregon. We see two hunters stopping at an abandoned church after a successful hunt. The church is clearly left over from the more religious scripts. Anyways, while in the church, we get an effectively creepy scare that totally works. The hillbilly then attacks the hunters and... Ooh, yikes. After killing the hunter, the redneck hillbilly puts on the hunter's hat and vest. We then cut to the main cast driving up through the mountains. They plan on roughing it out in the woods for a few days. They meet the forest ranger who warns them not to go into the woods alone. Of course, the teens ignore the warning. While camping, we get some fun, memorable teenage antics, such as trying to scare the group, and of course, skinny dipping. While skinny dipping, one of the most disturbing scenes takes place. The girl and her boyfriend are goofing off in the water, and the girl tries to drown the guy. She doesn't know where he went under the surface of the water, and then a hand reaches up her back. She laughs, thinking that it's her boyfriend playing with her, until she realizes that her boyfriend is on the shore. That's so freaking creepy! Ugh! After a while, the gang realizes that they aren't alone in the woods. One morning they notice a girl singing by the waterfall, and when they go to approach her, she runs off. That night, while playing music on their boombox, a hillbilly and his family shoots the music maker and warns the kids to leave. Of course, they don't heed the warning and they all decide to stay. That decision may turn out to be a fatal one. And so they start getting picked off one by one in some awesome, gory ways. The kills aren't the best or most creative, but there is enough of that red stuff to make it worth it for gorehounds. The film focuses more on atmosphere and does a fantastic job at it. Filming on location really helped, and the mountains and waterfalls are breathtakingly beautiful. Not only are the locations organic, but so is the acting. No one is really that over the top, and it all feels pretty natural. The actors seem more like real people than a character. There is also some impressive character development for this genre of film. It's well written and the cinematography is above average. The shots of the wilderness are the highlights, and the rest of it is shot pretty blandly but safely. The killers are imposing, but to me, they aren't scary. Maybe it's because I grew up in a small hick town, but the killers just look like a Dale or a Bubba to me. I don't know, someone who would regularly drink at the local bar. I used to see those guys all the time. It's not very scary to me. I don't know. One more thing I want to note is the soundtrack. Honestly, there isn't a lot here, opting for more ambient nature sounds. Every once in a while, we get these weird kettle drum sounds that sound cartoonish. But there is a whistle motif throughout, and it is brilliant. The kids carry a whistle throughout the film, and they use it to signal for help. Eventually, the killers get the whistle, and that whistle motif is creepy, haunting, natural, and above all else, goes hand in hand with the film's themes. Some may find this movie boring. It is a bit plain, and looking at trees the whole time can get monotonous. The kills aren't well spread out, and the pacing is all over the place. If you aren't a fan of atmosphere, but you want a backwoods slasher from the early 80s that has non-stop killing, check out Don't Go in the Woods Alone. All in all, Just Before Dawn is a well-made horror film and one of the best underrated slashers of 1981, a year that is known for its slasher films. Not too many people talk about this movie, but those who do talk about it usually rave about it. The gore is passable, there is a little bit of TNA, but both are mild compared to other early 80s slashers. Just Before Dawn uses its location to its advantage and creates an effectively chilling experience. If you want to own this film, Blu-ray here is going to be your best bet. There are some DVD copies out there, but they are getting harder to find. Plus, they may be missing some of the gore. Code Red and Kino Lorber just re-released this film on Blu-ray in January of 2021. It was released on Blu-ray by Code Red a few times before this. The newest Blu-ray has two versions of the film. The 91-minute uncut US version that has a beautiful restoration, and there is also a 102-minute international cut of the film, but unfortunately, it does not look like that version has been restored. There are a ton of interviews and a 50-minute making of documentary. I would say that this release is just about perfect, but for some reason, Code Red loves the Banana Man and has two segments of him before the feature-length film. The Banana Man sucks. If you like backwoods slashers, then you can't go wrong with Just Before Dawn. It does all the little things well, and it uses its location to its benefit. Check it out, it's a good one. And that's all I have for tonight. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care, everyone.